There's the book, waiting to be returned. I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take it anymore. It was just like, I like authors that, if they need to say something in 10 words, they use 10 words. This guy, if he can do it in 10 words, he thinks that's not nearly enough, so he says it in 100. And after a while, it was just like, it was too much. It was too much. I mean, I got, and the final straw was when he was in a hotel room with his dad, and his dad was snoring, and it was just after a while, it was just like, you know what? That's it. So at that point, but I still wanted to get to the end of the book. So I said, and I don't do this kind of thing, but I just, I started, okay, I just, like past that, and went to try to find something, and I just said, forget it. That's it. So, and then I decided, well, you know what? I wonder if I'm the only person like this. So I went and I looked up some reviews. Not everybody liked that book, even though it was a #1 bestseller. So, he's not my kind of writer. He wants to give you excruciating detail about every little bit of minutia that there is. And I mean, I really don't need to know all that. I just want to know what the story is, and that's where I look at some guy like, and I only really read one of his books, Hemingway. I mean, and I guess Hemingway was a journalist, but I mean, if he needs 10 words to say something, he uses 10 words. He doesn't use 110 because he's trying to impress somebody. He doesn't have to impress anybody. He just has to tell the story, Because after a while, I mean, it was just too much, It was just like the guy. It was just. It reminded me kind of like the painters in the salon in the 19th century in France. It was all about academia. It was like this guy's an academic. He's writing for academia. He's writing, to show everybody what a great command of the language he has. It's like, okay, buddy, okay. I mean, if you got a great command of the language, cut it down. After a while, it was almost like the guy had been contracted to write a 600-page book, and he wrote the book in 400 pages, and he brought it in. They guess, well, we said 600, and he took it back and wrote another couple hundred pages, adding to every freaking page something that was just so stupid it didn't make any. It was just lame after a while. So anyway, it's not my kind of writer, so I'm not. I wanted to read it because I wanted to be sophisticated and, oh yeah, I can read about it, but no, I like Clavel and Steinbeck and those guys. This guy, no, sorry. So I don't even know if this guy's still alive, but if you're still alive and you're watching this, which I know you're not, if everyone says you're a great writer, then you must be a great writer, but. Too many words. Way too many words. And it's like, it was almost like what is the purpose of using the most, it's almost like the guy was sitting there with a freaking thesaurus, and every time, if there was 10 words he could use, he would always use the most obscure word imaginable. I mean, it was like he was showing off. It was, after a while, it was just like, man, this is getting tedious, buddy. It's getting tedious, So, I think the next book I'll read maybe is going to be, it's not going to be him. Might be, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway. I couldn't finish it. It was just too much. So anyway, but I'm glad I started reading again. It was fun for a while, and I could take it. I could take the, you know, the 100 words, which 10 would have done in the beginning, because I thought it was all character development and everything, but it just never stopped. I mean, everything had to be described in excruciating detail, and I really didn't need. It wasn't, to me. It was irrelevant to the story. You know, he was just. I don't know what he was doing, but whatever he was doing, it wasn't working for me. So I think maybe I'll read something else. I had the sword out a while ago, whacking at a banana. It was fun. Well, not really that much fun. That sword's dangerous, actually. It's dangerous. So, I'm not going to be playing with the sword much. Anything else to say? Nothing else to say. I spend so much time reading that it's not that I'm wasting my time, but it was good to get back and just to read something for enjoyment, because I did enjoy it for a while, but 600 pages when it could have been a lot less, I just couldn't take it. I couldn't sit there and go through another 200 pages, because it was just like wading through something that you didn't need to wade through. I'm Hello Rodney. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.